This is East Palestine, Ohio. It's a town located near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. And this village has gone national for its story. That story, a Norfolk Southern train derailment, which spilled chemicals and caused massive chemical release. But now, I'm on the ground to hear stories from people in this community, including the village manager.
I actually was not here at the time of the derailment, but I was working for the city of Shinston in West Virginia, and I heard about it. I went to the web to look to see if there was a city manager. Well, at the time, the village was, the former city manager had resigned.
Edwards said he had followed the story and says that he was approached for his current role in the village by a hiring firm back in July, an opportunity he considered and eventually took.
I like what I do, and I'm a public servant, and I like to be where I can help. Of course, you know, with the derailment and everything like that, I knew there was going to be a little bit of opportunity for some development.
He started November 1st and says having done this work in his previous position made coming to East Palestine a no-brainer. But the derailment, over a year later, he says continues to be a source of concern. Concern that's fresh in the minds of community members and even non-locals.
I know that there's a bad perception of the town. I'm not worried about. I drink our city water. You know, I see the tests results, so I know what's in it. I'm not worried about the drinking water. You know, the runoff, that's a little different, but that's not what we're drinking.
Now, Edwards told me that the regulatory agencies overseeing the cleanup are, quote, not easy to deal with. But one resident I spoke to says he still feels the derailment's impacts despite remediation efforts. Meet Jake Koza.
I've been in East Palestine most of my life. I'm 49 years old. I live 0.3 miles away from the derailment. I was standing on my front porch the night it happened.
Koza says that since the incident, he has experienced what he believes to be our side effects from the chemical that was released into the air, vinyl chloride.
We went to D.C. to Capitol Hill. We went down to Columbus and disrupted a state Senate hearing so that we could get heard. It was almost like a drug withdrawal. When I was away from the poisons, I more or less got sick. So recently, within the last month, I moved out of East Palestine. And today, I went there for a couple hours. And as you can see, my eyes are beet red and I got a headache. And the symptoms, you know, once you're used to them chemicals, you just get used to them like everyday life.
Koza says while the derailment itself was a time, the fight for federal support and Norfolk Southern aid has been an ongoing challenge. You'll hear about that, how a group of community members have organized, and who he says have been the community's true advocates in part 2 of Ground Truth East Palestine, out tomorrow at noon. Reporting in East Palestine, Ohio, I'm Jaden Jefferson.